We had some technical difficulties today, and our engineers did not get around to it fast enough. Engineers, man. Okay, so let's quickly talk about procedure, candidates. Each candidate will receive 1 minute to make an opening statement at the very beginning. Candidates will sit in alphabetical order: Ethan Bartlett, Alex Compton, Alex Grunstaff, Max Congolo, okay, cool. Chandler Thompson, and Leo Versilis-Sara. The questions will be first asked to Mr. Bartlett, then to Mr. Compton, then to Mr. Grindstaff, and so forth. Does that make sense? We're going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. Each candidate will receive 45 seconds to respond to each question. Moving right along, the first question will be addressed to Mr. Bartlett. I guess you can go ahead, still at the head of the table here. The student government statutes do not list any specific requirements for the student body president beyond that of how it defines a student leader. How are you qualified to be the student body president?
How am I qualified? Well, I was Kelly Hook's chief of staff last year, and for those of you that don't know what that means, I coordinate the tasks of the executive cabinet. I've had the chance to see what the student body president does. I've had the chance to do what the student body president does. So I feel that I have the experience necessary to take on this position. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, do we still have more time?
I mean, you can keep going until I say stop.
All right. Also, I feel that the main thing the student body president does is communication. There's kind of this divide between administrators on campus and the student body. Unfortunately, I don't have too much time left. I saw Snooki, so I'll let Alex take on the next question.
Would you prefer Wiz Khalifa?
Okay. Per statutes, I am in good standing with the university, so I think that's a big qualification. I haven't done anything illegal so far, so we have 2 more years. No. I've worked on the publicity commission with the executive branch my freshman year. This year, I've been on Senate since December, so January. Have a lot of fun with that. We wrote 5 bills with Senator Abby Davis, so been involved here and there, so I think I'd do a better job representing the students on the administrative level. Thank you.
My qualifications for this position, last semester I had the opportunity of being an intern in the Office of Finance and Business, and this gave me a great chance to learn how the university works behind the scenes. I've worked in various departments around campus, campus dining, campus enterprises, Office of Foreign Tax Service, and in that position it gave me a chance to meet some of the people who do make some of the crucial decisions that do affect all of us. Also, I'm involved in Greek life. I'm vice president of my fraternity, so that I have had previous leadership positions before.
All these diverse standing committees has really prepared me to know what's important to students and what problems the university faces, and all of that makes me want to be student body president and fight for the students and make this university the best place to go to school.
While I've not had student government experience, however, I do have many friends in various majors all across campus, and I think that the student body president's job is to advocate the voice of the students. It's all about the students at NC State, and their voice needs to be heard. So by relating to the students, who aren't involved with student government or have any idea what student government does, I want to be that voice for the student body.
Many of you mentioned, conveniently, this question, as many of you mentioned, the lack of a centralized calendar for the university and ineffective advising in your platforms. What are your specific plans to fix these problems? And we'll start with you, Mr. Grindstaff.
Problems of a central calendar?
Well, you have, several of you have just mentioned how there's no centralized calendar and there's ineffective advising in your platforms. Do you have like a specific plan to kind of fix that issue that has been mentioned?
A centralized calendar would be a good idea, but I mean, around 5,000 people actually vote in a student body election. So there's 34,000 students that aren't really interested in what's going on. They're just here to get their education and get out. I think effective communication needs to be within student government. I think that's where there's a big void. Cross-communicating between commission heads, I think a lot of projects could be better done. Word of mouth, I think, is probably one of the best things. Not everyone uses Facebook, and if they do, they're not friends with everyone else in the university. So word can be spread around that well, but I think, I see Snooki, so thank you.
You got 10 seconds.
Okay.
It's like a warning.
Specific suggestions for improving advising across campus. One is an advising survey like class eval. We do that for our teachers, and we can incorporate that to have our advisors on there as well. A second thing is a main problem with advising is the discrepancies between colleges, and we really need to bring that together with cost-effective solutions. CHAS just started a program with graduate students doing advising. That could be a way to offer a low-cost advising to students on an as-needed basis. The calendar, a lot of different students have that on the platform. I think the easiest way to do that is to bring together the calendars that already exist and also incorporate that behind your RAP login, your Unity ID, so you can see it when you log in.
Basically, we need to use resources that we already have. We have the student government website. Ticketing's already funneled through there. It's a great resource to have. So I'd love to use this as a host to kind of place on the front page the centralized calendar. Now, unfortunately, in executive branch here in student government, we're losing our awesome IT guy, Stephen Williamson. He's graduating. So the first step is going to be hiring a new IT guy, hiring somebody that would be willing to create this. I'm going through an application process in student government to get this guy, and then have him create this on the student government website. It's something I would love to see happen. I feel student organizations need it, and I feel that students need it. They don't have this ability to kind of look at one central place and see where all the events are.
As part of the rugby team, the hardest part about recruiting people is that they don't know about it. And this would definitely help us in terms of a calendar. Just help us get the word out on it, events, matches that happen. And other organizations, like has been said, could use this. So I'd again say, have it as a link to the website. Make sure people can just click what organization they want, click on that. That way each organization can get the word out on what they want to do and combat this kind of student apathy right now. I think that's one of the biggest things is making sure students know what's happening, so this will be a big help for that.
One of the major pillars of student government is its commitment to community service. If elected, what will be your specific plan for service events in the next year? And we'll start with you. Yeah.
All right. In the coming year, what I hope to do, I hope to involve the whole campus in more community service. There's so many avenues that we can pursue. There's people in need, like I know downtown Raleigh is a very critical area where there's a lot of people who are in need. Some of the things I would like to do, see done to make NC State more involved in our local community is like soup kitchen campaigns, more canned food drives, things that everyone, like people within like the local community would see that NC State is contributing to the betterment of our local community.
If you check out the platform on my website, one of my things is recognize and support students that hold leadership positions and perform community service. And one of the ways that I will do this is with the Service Scholars Program. And working with CSLEPs, we can create this program where you log community service hours. We have a similar model at Chapel Hill that we can base this off. And you'll be honored at graduation for the number of service hours you complete.
Reiterating a pull on Leo said, excuse me, we do have awesome service events that are going on. We have Service Raleigh, we have Service NC State. Like he said, we need to promote these, we need to get these out to the student body. Right now in Service Raleigh, we have, I think last year was like 800 volunteers. I would love to see more than that. As well, the student body president elects a cabinet. These are 12 members that create what's called the executive board. And on that is the community service commissioner. Now it's this person to kind of go around campus, kind of gauge the waters and figure out what service events that might need to be taken care of. And it's my goal to kind of work with the team, figure out what needs to be done, and let them do their thing as far as creating the service event.
Great. The next question is, the student body president is a voting member of the board of trustees. And this summer, they're going to be doing, working on the realignment process. How will you, as student body president, keep the interests of students in mind when encountering the tough decisions that you will surely face? And we'll start with you.
One thing that I think it's important that the student body president does is a monthly survey in the emails. So even during the summer, I'll be sending out this survey, getting student input on what's happening so I can communicate that to the board of trustees. It's especially important to keep the communication going during the summer. Using my Facebook, my Twitter, all things that I already use often, I will be able to get feedback from students and take it to the board of trustees.
As a student body president, it's up to the student body president to kind of bridge the gap between the administration and the students and it's a fine line to kind of, give the administration the ideas of the students, but at the same time, push for what the administration wants as well to help the student. So by, email, Facebook, Twitter, any outlet of communication, I want to be available to the students to push for whatever they want to see done in the administration.
So, what will you do as student body president to ensure that, and before I get into this question, I'm sorry, the next set of questions were submitted by the university community, and so this one was from an anonymous student. What will you do as student body president to ensure that students know and support what you are doing with the $10.85 student government fee?
That's an interesting question. What we need to do about that is like I've said a million times before, it's awareness. We need our students to know what that is, or what that $10.85 is being used for. So, email, or websites, Facebook, Twitter, just getting the word out there and letting them know and letting them be educated about what's going on, where their money's going.
All right. This $10.85 funnels into appropriations. This is channeled out to our university organizations on campus. I'm not too involved with Senate. I couldn't give you any exact numbers, but I guess you could say you can let the students know that you help to pay for their organizations. Also, with this $10.85, it's important that the student body president is visible. It's important that they are on these Facebook accounts, on Twitter, sending these letters to the technician, and that they are engaging with the concerns of the students, and that the student body realizes that the student body president is working on their behalf.
Yeah, again, being transparent, letting them know exactly what it does, and then having them voice their concerns if they believe it's not being used properly. So having those outlets to make sure that that their money is being used for what they want it to be used for. And again, I think I know that it's a public notice what happens with it, but just making sure more students know about that you can see where it's being used, and again, making sure students are more involved in it so that they know they can find out this information.
I think surveys are a great way to find out how students want their money to be used, what they want to do with it. Also, just sharing blog posts about what's going on, where appropriations are going, and what student government's doing is really important.